This time, it's gun racing on historic targets at the World Speed Shooting Championships. Plus, the new guns from Colt for 2017. And an old Colt, the Woodsman, is now one of history's guns.
This is Shooting USA, reporting the stories of America's shooting sports.
"35 years ago, two guys named Mike sketched out the first Steel Challenge event on a napkin. Mike Fishman and Mike Dalton created it as different arrangements of 5 steel targets. Those target designs are now always the same challenge for competitors to draw and shoot for speed. But over the years, the guns have changed to add new designs in the contest of speed and accuracy. John Scoutten takes us to the Central California coast for the Speed Shooting World Championship.
The World Speed Shooting Championship, otherwise known as the Steel Challenge, is back at the Hogue Action Pistol Ranges outside Morro Bay, California. And this range's proximity to the California coast means this overcast marine layer comes in every morning. Doesn't look a lot like California weather, but these conditions are ideal for speed shooting.
This range is set up so that the sun crosses it, so that it's never at your back or never in your face. There are other ranges that we play at where sun, you're constantly fighting it, it's constantly a battle. Not a problem here, but today, not a problem at all.
Right now, the conditions, honestly, you couldn't ask for better conditions. You know, this heavy overcast really cuts down any glare you're going to have, especially on an iron-sighted gun. So the plates are really popping against the backgrounds.
The white paint against the brown backdrop, great contrast, no sun, no glare, no problems.
The paint. It's key here because each target is repainted before each shooter begins their strings of fire. And there's a new brand partner helping with that.
Rainbow Tech Steel Target Paint is a new sponsor to us this year, specifically here for the World Speed Shooting Championship, as well as the Production and Carry Optics Nationals. We're really glad to have them on board.
Well, I'm an avid shooter, and while shooting, I discovered a need for a good paint. There just wasn't any out there that worked as well as what I thought I could do. And so I went to my lab and grabbed a couple of guys and said, let's go to work. And we put together a formula and a package that really made a difference.
Their product was made to cover steel targets with paint. And so the marriage is a good one.
Steel target paint isn't the only new addition this year. This is also the first Steel Challenge recognizing the Pistol Caliber Carbine. Jason Moore campaigned for the rimfire carbines initially, and with success has moved on to the Pistol Caliber Carbine.
Rimfire was just the beginning. Now that the Pistol Caliber Carbine division's open, any police officer, SWAT team, guy on the street, anybody could come and compete.
The more guns that you put into the sport, the more people that you put into the sport. Pistol Caliber Carbines are a gun that is available to the mainstream public. You don't have to have a lot of advanced skills or support equipment to join. You simply need a rifle, 5 magazines, and ammunition. It feels a lot more like a race gun. The speed of the bullet and the impact on the target is much more audible than in the rimfire. So it's the same rush that you get from shooting open or limited, but with a rifle.
That rush is found on the 8 classic courses of fire that have made up the Steel Challenge for more than 30 years. The action starts with a beep from the timer. 5 strings of fire are shot. Keep your best 4 strings for score. And your score is your time. The faster, the better. There is one stage that is different, Outer Limits. Here, 4 strings of fire are shot, and the best 3 times are kept for score. Also, this is the only stage where shooters move on the clock. And to make it even more challenging, the 18 by 24-inch rectangles are set at 35 yards. In all of the centerfire handgun divisions, shooters start with a draw from the wrists above shoulders or surrender position. For rimfire and Pistol Caliber Carbine, it's a low ready start, with muzzle pointed at the Hogue aim point. There are 3 target shapes that make up the courses of fire: the 18 by 24-inch rectangle, the 12-inch round, and the 10-inch round. One of the 5 is designated as the stop plate. Hit that one last and the timer stops when that shot is fired. But be sure the others have been hit as well. A miss is a 3-second penalty.
The beauty of Steel Challenge is you're racing the same 8 stages against the clock. 2 things in practical shooting that don't lie are the timer and the target.
It's arguably the truest test of speed and accuracy, and that's what makes it so fun to watch. The best in the world tackle the Steel Challenge next.
Introducing the M&P M2.0 by Smith & Wesson, enhanced for complete shootability. Featuring a new aggressive grip texture, the famous M&P Optimal Grip Angle, 4 interchangeable palm swell grips for nearly any hand size, a light, crisp trigger with a clear tactile reset. Everything you love about the M&P pistol made even better. The new M&P M2.0, advanced by design.
Shooting USA is brought to you by the M&P by Smith & Wesson, advanced by design.
The centerfire match at the Steel Challenge is shot over 2 days. The first of which is when shooters typically bring out their limited division equipment. Now these are fully enhanced race guns without red dot optics or compensators. Even so, the times are lightning fast, and we pick up the action on the stage showdown.
The stage showdown is 2 rectangular steel, 2 10-inch round, and 1 12-inch round steel as the stop plate. There are 2 firing boxes, 2 strings from one and 3 from the other, shooter's choice. Wilson combat shooter BJ Norris is starting on the right. That's the way to start a 215. Pickups on that far right rectangle, not what he wants, and he's moving to the left box. The target array is different from here. BJ takes the far left rectangle on the draw. He's getting faster. That was a 204, fastest yet. BJ's best 4 strings total 8.78 seconds, best for the limited division.
Wasn't anything fancy, wasn't quite what I was looking for. I was having a hard time getting a good grab on the gun, so you know, when you grab a bad draw, you really just need to try and calm down and look at the sights and just make sure you hit the place, because you know, your hope of really slamming that run home is probably gone, you know, without a really solid grip. But as long as you still shoot 5 shots, you're still gonna have a solid time.
Casey Eusebio is next on Showdown, but a quick look at his pistol reveals that he is not shooting in the limited division.
It's the first year I've shot carry optics here, and I'm really enjoying it, having a good time, and got some good competition here.
Good competition is exactly what Casey brings to the line at every match. And by the looks of the numbers he's putting up from the right box, this will be another signature performance. He has to move to the other box now, and he's ready. He's got a miss on the right 10-incher. This last run has to be perfect now. That'll do it. Casey is best among the carry optics shooters on Showdown. After 5 of the 8 stages, BJ is in control. The next closest limited shooter is Max Michel, over 8 seconds back. Casey, with his carry optics equipment, is leading that division handily. BJ will extend his lead on the next stage, Smoke and Hope. Just a couple of pickups in 2 strings, and from there, he puts up the best for the division total of 7.78 seconds.
Yeah, you know, that was a pretty good run. I had 1 run where I had some pickups, but I don't think it hurt me too bad. I was still under 8, which, you know, for Smoke and Hope is kind of the part-time, especially in the limited. If you're, you know, right around 8 seconds, you're doing pretty good.
With that performance, BJ separates himself from the others by an even greater margin. Casey is still well in control of the carry optics division. Speed option will be the next stage, the only stage with a rectangle steel as the stop plate, set at the back of the bay at 35 yards. Max Michel is almost 9 seconds behind BJ coming into this stage, but he isn't giving up. These early strings make that point. But he's got pickups in the later strings. Those hurt. That 442 gets thrown out, and his best 4 total 11.01. In the race for the Carry Optics title, it's all Casey Eusebio. Speed option will be another step in the journey to lock up the division. There's his first bobble. An extra on the stop plate adds a tick. That's the way to recover a 248. This will be the throwaway. Casey's best 4 strings total 10.79, almost a full second faster than the next closest Carry Optics shooter. Now it's BJ, and at this point he is almost untouchable in the race for the limited title. That was a 253. Even with an occasional pickup, BJ is posting another best for the division score. His 4 keepers total 10.75 seconds. The limited division results show the amazing performance put on by BJ Norris. 82.44 with a limited gun is a new world record. Max is over 6 seconds back in second, and Shoji rounds out the top 3. In the Carry Optics division, it's all Casey Eusebio, Glock's Shane Coley, and Smith & Wesson's Doug Koenig place in show. After the break, we've got more from the Steel Challenge as the open guns see their time on the range.
What makes a legacy? Is it quality? Craftsmanship? Maybe it's the idea that every American deserves their right to security and peace of mind on and off the battlefield. What makes a legacy? Here at Colt, we're making it every day. Colt, built one at a time, proven every round.
Shooting USA is brought to you by Les Bear Customs 1911s, hand-fitted to perfection, because you'll accept nothing less.
The final day of the Steel Challenge is the fastest day of competition. This is when the open guns see time on the ranges. Compensators, red dot optics on hand-fitted, race-tuned pistols. For the top shooters in the sport, these guns are almost an extension of the man. So it's big news anytime a new gun makes its first runs at the World Championship, especially when it's in the hands of a past champion. The two-tone scheme is a sure eye-catcher, and when you hear it run, you can't help but look again.
It's a new gun this year. I've been using my main gun for about a decade now, and I wanted to retire it, so I got a new gun. It's the Steel Cat KC Signature Series.
It's Casey Eusebio's Limcat built Steel Cat. The foundation of the Limcat built 9mm is the STI 2011 frame. From there, the slide, bushing barrel, and 3-port comp are all from Limcat Custom. If Casey's gun is showroom floor new, then BJ Norris's Wilson Combat is a low-mileage trade with just 1 year in competition.
Wilson Combat built up my open gun for Steel Challenge. It's got a Loophole Delta Point Pro on it. It's a really, really solid setup. It's got a comp that I've used in the past. So they built it fast, light, about as perfect as you can get for this match.
Max Michel has not signed on to the new gun trend. His open division equipment in 38 Super Comp has a lot of miles on it.
Got out of the Army in 2009, hooked up with Sig Sauer, and that's when I had this pistol built. It was 2009, the summer of '09, to get it ready for the Steel Challenge. And been running the same old beater since. You know, here we are 8 years later, or 7 years later, whatever it is, and still running.
Max takes his tried and true equipment to the stage showdown, and it will be the beginning of Max's push for the win. That was a 209 with a pickup. That's fast. He started the stage in the left shooting box. Looks like he'll take his third string there. A quick extra there. Still a 232. Now he has to move. A 186. Wow. The 232 gets thrown out, and it's a stage win for Max.
I prefer whatever box is going to be good to me, you know. So I start in the left box because I feel that shooting left to right as a right-handed shooter is smoother. But when I get in the box, I shoot those 2 runs. If light's good, I stay there for my 3rd one. If I don't like it, then I'll move on to the right.
BJ Norris will not have the same good fortune. That was a miss. The rest of his strings must be clean. Solid string there. He's moving to the left now. These are fast, even with the miss hanging over his head. Disaster. Another miss. The 5.16 gets thrown out, but the damage is done. The standings after 4 stages look like this. Max and Casey just a half a second apart. With that miss, BJ lands in 3rd. Smoke and Hope is next, and Max is 1st. This is the fastest stage in the match, and Max is one of the best at it. Sub 2-second strings are the goal. And he just racked a couple of them. That's not what he wants. And neither is that. Max's best 4 totals 7.93. BJ is next, and he is still feeling the sting of that 3-second penalty on Showdown. If he can muster a solid set of 4 strings, he can gain some of that ground back. Final string now. It doesn't get better than that. A 164. BJ's best 4 totals 7.43.
I'm coming back from Showdown. I had to eat a miss. So that's a pretty deep hole I got to try and dig myself out of. So I'm out here, got a couple stages left. I'm pushing hard. We'll see what happens.
Heading into the final stage, the leaderboard shows Max out in front, Casey within striking distance, and BJ almost a second and a half back in 3rd. Going into the final stage, outer limits. BJ is 1st, and he will need a world record set of strings here and some help from the others to get back out front. Sub 4-second strings are the goal, and he's got a couple. Not what he's looking for there. More extras. His best 3 total 11.75. Next is Casey. That's not how he wants to start. More extras here. That's more like it. 1 for 1. Final string now. That's the way to close it out. 11.27 is best so far.
My last 2 were pretty solid runs, so this is the stage where it all comes together. All the 7 stages lead up to this, and whatever you do here decides who wins as a match.
Now it's Max, and he is poised to take his 7th World Speed Shooting Championship. And this is the type of shooting that will get him to that goal. Solid. Final string now. Unreal, a 345. And with that, Max locks up another championship.
This is my 7th Steel Challenge, my 7th World Championship, and my 4th in a row, which is unbelievable, never been done before, and I can't believe I'm the guy to say that.
Consistent shooting through all 8 courses of fire give Max an unprecedented 7th World Speed Shooting Championship. And it's his 4th consecutive win. Amazing. Casey holds on for 2nd, and BJ is 3rd. Still ahead today, Jim's back with the story of an old Colt. The Woodsman is now one of history's guns.
Out of all you'll spend on shooting this year, this is the most important, a membership in the NRA. Join at shootingusa.com and I'll pay $10 for you. It's that important.
Suspect in sight. We're Oscar Mike. Suspect in custody. Copy that.
The Serpa Level 2 Tactical Holster by Blackhawk. Honor as a way of life.
Shooting USA is brought to you by CompTac Everyday Carry Holsters and by STI and the continuing evolution of the 1911. There is no better start for a new shooter than a .22 rimfire pistol. .22 rimfire takes the recoil, most of the bang, and much of the cost out of a first experience shooting. And for most of the 20th century, Colt had the most popular design for .22, a John Browning design that is today highly collectible. That Colt autoloader was the Woodsman, that is now one of history's guns. Countless thousands of American sportsmen fired their first shots with this firearm, and they've been doing so for 100 years. Plinking, hunting, target shooting, a semi-auto pistol from Colt in .22 long rifle.
The Colt Woodsman is one of the great .22 auto pistols of all time. There's no question about it. Of course, it was designed by John Browning, so you don't get much better than that. It just has a lot going for it.
Colt released Browning's auto pistol in 1915, and the Woodsman was an instant success. Priced right for the times with the cachet of Colt.
They weren't cheap. They were a Colt. They were not an inexpensive gun, but they were, you know, in the sport model especially, they were particularly affordable. So they were probably, a good first gun for lots of people.
Colt built the first generation Woodsman until 1941, halting production during World War II. After the war, the company geared up again, building its modified second generation from 1947 to 55. And finally, the new and improved third generation from 1955 to 77. In all, Colt built 690,000 Woodsmen in 6 decades of production.
This particular gun was made in 1953, so it makes it kind of a second generation. Really, really, really nice gun. Got all the good controls on it. Thumb safety, your slide release and button mag release, similar to the government model, really.
No big surprise, since Browning designed it just a few years after his 1911 government model.
It's just a heck of a great gun, super reliable, super accurate. You can't do a whole heck of a lot better.
In addition to 3 generations of Woodsman, Colt also built 3 models, a variant to fit the needs of every outdoorsman.
There were kind of 3 basic versions. There was the sport model. That was the one you kind of stuck in your belt when you're going hiking or throwing your tackle box. And there was the target model, which is this particular one. And then there was the match target, which was a lot more sophisticated gun.
The target had a 6-inch barrel, the sport a more manageable 4.5, and the match target equipped with a heavier, more accurate shrouded barrel.
Just that much more agreeable for high quality target shooting. Popular gun.
And no matter which variant a shooter preferred, the Woodsman was built with Colt quality.
It's a real gun, none of that plastic stuff. I mean, this thing's all metal. It feels real good in your hand. I don't have a real big hand. The grips fit me perfectly. It's a natural pointer. It's reliable, beautifully made.
A 10-round magazine feeds the Woodsman the most widely produced cartridge in firearms history, .22 long rifle. And while we all know that round has its limitations, Colt touts its power in this magazine ad from 1935. Claiming Alaskan guide Jim Waddell downed a half-ton moose with a Woodsman. Well, you be the judge. But we did put the pistol to a test of accuracy, and it more than passed its trial. 12 paces, 5 shots, with multiple rounds punching a single hole.
You got 4 shots right in there, and then I was getting a little anxious, and so I pulled that one out. But for the most part, I'm satisfied with that group. That makes me happy, and the gun certainly can perform most likely a lot better than I can.
Perhaps not better, but certainly well. A Colt semi-auto that is still a shooter at more than 100 years old.
There's just not too much you can fault with it. If you want a handy, great shooting little .22, the Woodsman's right up there at the top of the list.
If you find a Woodsman for sale, expect to pay as much as $1,500, depending on the model. Now, in the 1990s, Colt made another run at the .22 rimfire market, producing the Colt .22 Target model in stainless with a polymer grip. It, too, is now out of production, but it's a bit more affordable if you find one for sale. Well, with those notes, it's time to find out what Colt is doing these days. That's next, the new Carry Colt that may be your new favorite. This is custom gun making, hand fitting, slide to frame, hand cutting the magwell, blending the surfaces of the slide, the frame, and the beaver tail. At every step, a Les Baer Custom 1911 is hand fitted to tolerances no CNC machine can match for match-grade accuracy. And a Les Baer Custom 1911 is priced at 1/3 of what you'd pay any other gun maker. See all the 1911s and rifles at lesbaer.com. Shooting USA is brought to you by Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Anytime one of the major manufacturers releases their new product lineup for the year, it is always big news. And that's certainly the case for Colt, that organized a preview for journalists at Gunsight Academy in Arizona. John got that assignment for some try it, we think you'll like it shooting on the high desert ranges at Gunsight.
It's a beautiful fall day in the northern Arizona desert. We're at the world-famous Gunsight, guests of Colt, for a range-hot preview of their newest product for 2017.
First up is a pocket-sized wheel gun, a full redesign of the Cobra in .38.
This is a very, very special revolver. I mean, the first time in nearly 20 years that Colt's come out with a double-action revolver. The first single-action Army, and then now double-action revolver, and we have such a storied history with our snake guns, and this being another, and a reintroduction of the Cobra. I'm really excited about that. The Cobra now will signify all of our small frame family of revolvers, so this will be the first of many in that family of revolvers.
Creating the next great Colt revolver is a monumental undertaking. Kevin Langevin and his team put years of planning and technology into this new design.
The original mindset was to get Colt back into the small compact frame revolver and keep some of the Colt legacy, which would be 6-shot and a gun that rotates clockwise.
One big benchmark for the engineers, the Colt double action trigger. This may be the best one yet.
One of the nice things about this gun is the double action trigger pull. It doesn't have any creep or climb in it. It's smooth. And once you hit the point, it levels off and you don't feel stack up as it's about to fire. All our trigger scans show that the trigger pull is actually smoother than a Colt Python.
This frame notch and fiber optic front sight on the new Cobra make this gun an easy-to-shoot, accurate pocket-sized revolver.
And that front sight is easily changed thanks to a new retainer set screw design.
We kept the front sight pretty low, but it's interchangeable. And with the modern technologies, we were able to design a front sight that drops into a square pocket. In the past, you would see them pinned on, and one of the issues with being pinned on, the pin can walk out, but if the user wanted to change his front sight, you would have to knock that pin out with a punch. He could damage the gun, scratch it. This one with an Allen wrench, he can remove the screw and change the sight.
The new Cobra is rated for +P ammunition, a must-have for the personal defense market.
It's a new stainless steel. It's a aerospace grade, and it's much stronger than the old stainless steel frames that Colt used to make. So we can go to +P, and maybe sometime in the future we feel with the new frame we don't have to increase the size and we can go to .357 Magnum.
The 357 is down the road, but if you want big handgun power now, the new Delta Elite rail is for you.
Now we have a 10mm Delta Elite with a rail. And so for all those folks that are out there hunting or using them with lights or lasers, now we have the perfect opportunity for them.
The Delta Elite and 10mm. There is something special about this caliber. And they've added a level of utility by putting the rail on the frame. All in all, this is the right answer to a lot of different handgun questions.
We built it on our traditional marine rail frame. So now you have extra weight out front to help tame that 10mm cartridge, but you have rail system for flashlights. You can set up a nice laser sight on there so it can pinpoint so you can have a more accurate shot. So I see that to be a real successful piece of equipment for, you know, hunters, self-defense, and put a flashlight on for your house. It's a lot of utility to it.
Adding the underbarrel rail makes the already easy shooting high-power 1911 even more pleasant.
People that have long since shot the Delta Elite, this gun is so much more comfortable to shoot.
If it's comfort you're looking for, look no further than the newest Gold Cup trophy in 9mm or 45.
The Gold Cup's been a staple in our portfolio for a long time, but now our stainless Gold Cup is a Series 70. We did some trick things. We undercut the trigger guide. We made it with what a race gunner would want today. Fiber optic sight up front with a Novak notch, and it's also got a mag funnel with checkering 25 line, both the front strap and the rear mainspring housing. So we're really excited and happy, and again, that dependable national match barrel from Colt that shoots like crazy.
Couple of first impressions shooting the new Gold Cup. First, this aggressive front strap checkering. That's going to take some getting used to. And this large fiber optic in the front sight. Now they've got it laid in a Novak cut, so it will be an easy swap later on if it ends up being too distracting.
Colt Pro shooter Maggie Reese has had plenty of range time with the Gold Cup, and she's a fan.
It is very easy to customize it for yourself with everything, all the specifications that you want specifically for you. I want a nice magwell that's perfect for USPSA, IPSC, any of those competitions where you're just reloading all day long. I want a great trigger, and this coming as a 70 series with this great wide trigger is just very, very nice for competition. Of course, I want adjustable sights, and these adjustable rear sights in this Bomar style is just perfect for that as well. So those are the three features that I always think about for competition: trigger, sights, and magwell.
The key to Colt's success with all of their newest offerings is responding to the customer.
That's something that's really been cool for me, is that Colt is very invested in what the consumer wants, and specifically in this format, what the competition shooter wants.
We're giving the people what they want. How do we do that? We listen to the consumer.
Giving the customers what they want. It's as simple as that. Oh, and making great guns, of course. But we're not done yet. There's more news from Colt, including something for you collectors, an M16A1. We're back to Gunsight after the break.
Day after day, it's there. It's ready for when you need it the most. The Rapid Safe combines fast, touch-free ease of use with safety and security. The Rapid Safe from Hornady.
Shooting USA is brought to you by Blackhawk, honor as a way of life, and by Colt, built one at a time, proven every round.
Colt has built its resurgence on listening to their customers and giving them what they want. A big part of that is also listening to their pro shooters and the members of the Colt Combat Unit. Names like Hackathorn, Pannone, and Holland testing and torturing the equipment to find the best design that will be the newest member of the Colt long gun family, the Combat Unit M4.
They listen to us as far as our experience goes, you know, with what we like, and you know, pretty much that whole gun is developed for the Colt Combat Unit. You know, Ken Hackathorn and Mike Pannone are very experienced carbine shooters, so our input is the result of this Colt Combat Unit M4.
The input from the team covering details big and small runs to the engineers at Colt through product manager Justin Baldini.
Part of that was
you know, maybe smaller things that people wouldn't think of, like whether or not the rail should have QDs built into it, the length of the rail.
The length of the rail and selecting the Magpul furniture are smaller details compared to the biggest improvement, the new gas system.
It's the first production M4 mid-length gas system that Colt's coming out with. That mid-length gas system, moving a little bit closer to the flash suppressor, really kind of softens your recoil so you can transition from target to target a little bit quicker.
My biggest first impression about the Colt Combat Unit M4 is how flat shooting and how easy the recoil is to manage with this rifle. I brought along my Bushnell AR Optics 1-4, and I'm a little less than 2 power here, and I'm able to stay right in the glass and make those follow-up shots. A really smooth shooting AR package.
When you take the M4 carbine and you extend that barrel out to 16 inches, you know, the M4, as you know, is built as a 14.5-inch gun. You're introducing some unintended consequences into the rifle, and one of those is more gas. And what you do by moving that gas block out is you kind of bring it back to the gas that the gun's designed to operate with. It's not what I would call a flexible environment when it comes to, hey, we want to move some stuff around. So it took us a little while. It's a little more work than probably people would believe, but we wanted to do it.
Colt's other big news in the long gun family is a period-correct reproduction.
That A1 is really something neat. You know, it's like traveling in a time machine 30 years, and I'm back in basic training with that A1, M16A1. That's pretty special.
Having that correct military period variant is really cool.
In creating the M16A1, Colt went to every expense to make sure it's 100% correct. From the 3-prong flash hider to compression molding the furniture, even creating new roll dies with the exact font for the serial numbers and receiver markings. Nothing has been overlooked.
It's a neat experience to get my hands on an A1 style rifle like this. The Colt engineers went to great lengths to make sure all of the details were period correct, just as these rifles were when they were issued. And the reliability is here that you would expect from a rifle with the name Colt.
The black rifles or the MSRs in general, they were not nearly as popular in the 70s and in the 60s and even going into the 80s as they are now. So there's really not a lot of those guns out there. So it's nice to be able to provide them something that's really correct.
You know the collectors are going to get in line first for this gun, but you know, there's a lot of people like me that once you shoot it, you know, it just kind of brings back memories. And you know, the engineers went to great lengths to make it identical to the late 60s when that gun first came out. So I'm really pleased.
It's safe to say there's something for everyone on the list of new products from Colt. Look for those new guns to start turning up in your gun shop later this spring. Well, next, how about some new ammo for the Remington 700 tack driver? How do you make a custom hunting rifle even better? Hornady has the answer.
Introducing the M&P M2.0 by Smith & Wesson, enhanced for complete shootability. Featuring a new aggressive grip texture, the famous M&P optimal grip angle, 4 interchangeable palm swell grips for nearly any hand size, a light, crisp trigger with a clear tactile reset. Everything you love about the M&P pistol made even better. The new M&P M2.0, advanced by design.
Shooting USA is brought to you by the M&P by Smith & Wesson, advanced by design, and by Hoppies, the gun care people since 1903.
By now, you've seen the Remington 700 long-action project rifle we started years back and recently brought back for an updated optic from Bushnell. But today, I've got some new ammo to run through the rifle, but not just any ammo. This is Precision Hunter from Hornady, and it's built around the state-of-the-art ELDX bullet. The ELD polymer allows for the most consistent, truest flying bullet tip possible, and the X designation means these bullets are built to expand. The jacket is specifically designed for excellent terminal performance at all ranges. We got a demonstration of the design and its capabilities at Hornady's manufacturing facility.
This is a simulated impact from 150 yards from a 300 Win Mag. Some of the key things that we're going to look at here is the neck of penetration. So as that bullet enters, how quickly does it start to expand? and throw its energy outward. In this case, it's pretty much immediately. That's that tip-initiated expansion. You have a large energy transfer out to a maximum diameter, and then that continues for quite a long distance with that temporary wound channel before it starts to slowly taper down. We're all the way down to around 16, 17 inches before the temporary wound channel stops. And then you have a couple inches more of permanent cavity where the bullet comes to rest at approximately 21 inches.
So we know the bullet will perform when it hits its target, but now it's time to find out how it will shoot in our rifle. I've got the Caldwell Fire Control on the bench to take as much of the human element out of these shots as possible and to give my shoulder a break from the recoil. I'm shooting a 3-shot group with the same aim point, and then I'll adjust for point of impact. That looks pretty tight. I'm gonna make a quick adjustment for elevation and we'll shoot another group. That is performance that will fill the freezer. Hornady's Precision Hunter ammunition is available in all of the popular hunting calibers. 7mm Remington Magnum is about $40 for a box of 20. Now the spotting scope I've been using today. It's the newest in the Elite Tactical line from Bushnell. It's an 8-40 by 60 variable power spotting scope known as the LMSS. That's lightweight modular spotting scope. All of the glass is ED prime and HD coated, making this thing fully water and fog proof. The aluminum body is treated with this rubberized coating so it's durable and rugged should you decide to drop it. There's a 1/4-20 mount here, so it's compatible with any tripod out there. Additionally, there are threaded mounting points all over with these hex head screws so you can add rails, illuminators, coarse spotting devices, whatever. Like I said, the thing is modular. And like everything in the Elite Tactical line, the LMSS is covered by the 100% no questions asked money back guarantee from Bushnell. So if you have a problem, you know they've got your back. Retail pricing on this, just over $1,600. But coming next today, do you want to shoot your AR like a pro? The Army Marksmanship Unit's Daniel Horner shows us his techniques for doing it the right way.
Out of all you'll spend on shooting this year, this is the most important, a membership in the NRA. Join at shootingusa.com and I'll pay $10 for you. It's that important.
On March 29, 1911, the Armed Forces adopted a pistol that would change the world. For decades to come, men and women relied on the most trusted pistol in history as they fought the toughest battles to protect our freedom. Today, we celebrate another great victory, introducing the all-new Colt competition pistol, designed for heroes, created for champions. We didn't just make history, we're still making it.
Shooting USA is brought to you by Les Baer Customs 1911s, hand-fitted to perfection because you'll accept no less. The AR-15, or modern sporting rifle, is the most popular sporting rifle on the market, and it's the choice for most who compete in multi-gun competition. So who better to explain how to shoot the MSR than 8-time national multi-gun champion Sergeant First Class Daniel Horner of the Army Marksmanship Unit. He's with us from Fort Benning in Georgia to demonstrate the techniques that will keep your shots on target.
Today we're going to talk about how to acquire proper grip, stance, and body position for your new AR-15. Today we're going to start from the ground up. I've taken a half step forward with my weak side foot. Since I'm a right-handed shooter, that's my left foot. I've got about 70% of my weight on this lead foot. You want most of your weight up on the balls of your feet? I'm going to do this by curling my toes down. This gives me a very athletic position, allowing me to absorb the recoil very well as prepare to move from the position I'm in to the position that I'm going. My knees and my hips are generally oriented towards the target. I'm not going to exaggerate either turning square onto the target or away from the target, just something naturally and comfortable pointed at the target. Same thing with my chest and my shoulders.
when I mount the rifle right here, I've got the top of the butt pad in the pocket of my shoulder, just like a shotgun. That's a good body position. We'll go ahead and see it now in a drill that we call 20 Alpha. The 20 Alpha drill is a recoil management drill. You'll shoot this drill from 20 yards, 5 rounds per iteration with 4 iterations. So you'll end up with 20 rounds in the center scoring zone of your target. Now let's talk about the grip. I'm going to start with my left hand. Your left hand should be placed on the forend at a distance that's comfortable for you. You do not want to lock your elbow out, and you don't want to be back on the magazine well of the rifle. Just extend your hand out to a comfortable distance and try to keep your index finger along the axis of the bore, pointed generally at the target. If you notice, my left elbow is high, relatively in line with the bore of the rifle. This allows me to drive the gun from a target on the left to a target on the right, or vice versa, and keep the gun as flat as possible and efficient as possible, moving from target to target. My strong hand is going to be high on the back of the pistol grip, my fingers wrapped naturally around, and my finger placed naturally on the trigger. You don't want to be reaching for anything with your strong hand. A firm handshake grip is all that you need on both your left and right hand as you shoot the rifle. I'll demonstrate this with a transition drill. This is just an example of a basic transition drill where I'm driving the gun from target to target on 2 extreme sides of the range. Remember, half step forward with your left foot, keep your toes curled, knees, hips, chest, and shoulders generally oriented towards the target, your left hand extended to a comfortable distance, left index finger pointed at the target, firm, strong handshake grip with both hands. I hope these tips will help you the next time you're at the range.
Thanks, Sergeant Horner, another member of our Army team making a difference for you. And if you want to review his techniques, we have a transcript of his pro tip at our website, plus where to sign up for next year's Speed Shooting World Championships if you're ready to run your plinking speed up to a higher level. And there are links to find more on the new Colt guns now introduced. Find all the info at shootingusa.com. For all of us, I'm Jim Scoutten. Shoot safely, shoot often, and keep them in the 10 ring.